She was an influential global presence for decades and, of course, Britain's longest ruling monarch, the world's second longest ruling monarch in history, her reign spanning 70 years. We just received a tweet from the royal family saying the Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon. The King and the Queen consort will remain at Balmoral this evening and will return to London tomorrow.
I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service.
Outside the palace, 100,000 people surged forward in a solid mass. They wanted Elizabeth. They wanted Philip.
Good evening, Your Majesty.
I've just been talking to your Secretary of State for Health.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
It's one small step for man.
What I say to you now, as your Queen and as a grandmother, I say from my heart. First, I want to pay tribute to Diana myself. With the benefit of historical hindsight, we can all see things which we would wish had been done differently, or not at all.
Second Ezra chapter 14 and 35, for after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again. And then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared. So just assessing, as you already seen through the videos, pretty much the process of these heathens, these elites, right? These supreme families that die, pass on, how they are still held to what us Hebrew Israelites are telling you, and that's them ultimately getting ready to come back, you know, being set up to come back as slaves in the kingdom of heaven where we're ruling. That's what they're going to come back to. That's what Queen Elizabeth is on her way back to. Job 15 and 22. He believeth not that he shall return out of darkness, and he is waited for of the sword. So as soon as she come out the womb, we go get her. This is Job 15 and 28. And he dwelleth in desolate cities. Now this is going into pretty much until the world ends. You've seen in the opening scriptures, pretty much that goes into the, you know, the people that die, you know, the Lord require they spirit back, these Edomites included. These heathens are enemies. You know, they die, and the Lord pretty much bring them back to the spirit world and just have them on standby, and they not going to be awakened until the wrath pass, right, until the nuclear missiles hit. And then after that, that's when or pretty much before that point, they're gonna be awakened when Yahushua come back, which is when the nuclear missiles hit, because he had to come back to save the elect, the hopefully elect of the Israelite race. And then all of them gonna come out of the grave and see Yahushua, and then they're gonna be sent down through the Edomites that procreate, that's gonna have to bring back the nation to Edom, all these heathens, you know. We're gonna keep them going to where they can live out their punishment. And Queen Elizabeth is gonna be brought back through the loins of the Edomites that remain. And she gonna get hers. So this is what this going into, the process up until that point. So she's gone now, right? Job 15:28, and he dwelleth in desolate cities and in houses which no man inhabited, which are ready to become heaps. Right? Everything about to go to waste completely. It was already going to shit when she was here, you know. So it's gonna become a apocalyptic world, Book of Eli type cities, right? Including England, right? Across the four corners of the globe. All Esau's foundations, his places is gonna turn to desolations through the you know, the uproars of the people, you know, the new world order being instituted, etc. But I'm gonna read all this in NLT. This is verse 28. But their cities will be ruined. They will live in abandoned houses. They are that are ready to tumble. Through what? The missiles, right? And us taking them down, right? When we come off the ships from, you know, being delivered from the missiles, Lord will. It says their riches will not last and their wealth will not endure. Their possessions will no longer spread across the horizon, right? And once that point, when we are to be delivered, which is when the missiles hit comes, that's when it's over with for them. After they institute the chip, all that's about to still go on and play out. She just put on standby. She already went back to the spirit world and seen Yahweh Shai, right? Seen the angels, seen Mayakala, right? Seen those that have been died in the Lord. And she done been told they the devil and they getting ready to go into slavery. You know, it's been confirmed. Period. So it says they will not escape the darkness. The burning sun will wither their shoots, and the breath of the Almighty Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai will destroy them. And that's exactly what's going to do it. That, you know, the fierce anger of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai through the nuclear missiles and, you know, Yahweh Shai, the sun that's going to rise with healing in his wings, right? He's going to take Esau's world completely out. Everything that they set up to hold on to and come back to will be gone. The next time she returns, she not coming back to that. When she coming back as a slave in a pit somewhere. Literally. It says, let them no longer fool themselves by trusting in empty riches, right? Because the money that was here when she left was on its way out already. So by the time she come, you know, and before this world ends, it's completely going to end. Be out of there. The world, the Federal Reserve notes and etc. These imitations of the Federal Reserve note, they're going to be done because a digital currency is about to be instituted, which is the mark of the beast, right? The permanent marker that people going to get, which is what's going to completely bring Esau's world, right? And her wicked ass deserve it because why? She was queen. She was responsible for the moving forth, the instituting of the new world order, right? As her duties as queen and powers that she had allow her, she could declare war. It was in the prerogatives, her prerogative power, when you look it up, to declare war if she wanted to. And it's been in the monarch's reign, you know, as far as their abilities, they say for centuries. As long as that crap been set up, which they're not the kings. The kings of the earth set these kings, these people, they set themselves. They're not the kings. They're not the Israelites. So how can they put themselves as royal people above all people? By saying they're Jewish and lying to people, man, and hiding the true kings through a time when we was just being punished, right? And they could re-educate us and make us forget and everything upside down. So they got us thinking they royal for, you know, got our people thinking they royal and we not. Some of our people actually think this. But anyway, but everybody really know. So it says you know what, I'm gonna show something. For those that may want to gainsay, I have history right here. It says the queen. Now on her. Here we go. It says, what actual powers does the Queen of England have? She's gone now, along with the House of Commons and the House of Lords. It says, and that's history, and that heavy history in the House of Lords. But it says the crown is an integral part of the institution of Parliament. Right, when they would have Parliament, they would get together, basically hold councils. But anyway, it says, imitating us, it says the Queen plays a constitutional role in opening and dissolving Parliament and approving bills before they become law, which that's not order. That's not the Heavenly Father set up. So we know these not the people. They're not the Lord's people. They're not the Israelites. Ain't nothing about them even Jewish, right? Nothing, right? not a thing. But this the power that she had, right? She can approve. They would have to wait until they got her signature to move on with a new law that they would institute, right? You can read right here. Technically, the Queen's power is to declare war. Technically, the Queen's power, and that was on Parliament.uk, right? The Parliament and the Crown. It says technically the Queen's power is one of her prerogative powers, which have been in possession of the reigning monarch for centuries. All right. There's one more I want to get and show. Okay, and that's on the that was on the what site was that? Express.co. Okay. .uk. All right. And yeah, this is what I wanted. Let's go here. UK royal family. Who is in it and what does the Queen do? All right. It says the Queen is a constitutional monarch. While she is the UK head of state, her powers are symbolic and ceremonial, and she remains politically neutral. Right. So it says she receives daily dispatches from the government in a red letter box, such as briefings ahead of important meetings or documents that need her signature. That's how it go. All right. So that's pretty much it. And we was ruling the UK, right? And when we were ruling, they were in the caves, and we fell after 1,000 years basically, and they came out. And from that point, they took us down, right? They took advantage, took us down, kept us down, and went out and set up lies. They destroyed our image, any proof that we was ruling, and any trace basically as much as they could of who we were, right? At that time and always, obviously, and over them. And since then, that's how they gained power. And they instituted a queen and all this other madness, man. These Edomites, the Edomites did this. These people are the Edomites. The Lord is gone. The Edomites are not gone. The Edomites are ruling right now because the Lord hasn't came back, which is who murdered him. Edomites, the Idumeans. It say they which pierced him gonna see him when he come back. He ain't came back yet. So if they which pierced him, which were the Romans, who were according to scriptures, you can read that in Maccabees, First Maccabees, the 4th chapter. That's why they got rid of the Apocrypha. You know, it tells you in First Maccabees, the 4th chapter, in the 6th, in the last verse, you know, that the people that we were warring against during that time, those Romans, aka Greeks, those Romans who basically were the Greeks, were actually the Idumeans, aka the Edomites. And that's who went on to pierce the Lord, meaning they murdered him. And it says when he come back, they gonna see him, even they which pierced him. All eyes shall see them, even they which pierced him, which is her, Queen Elizabeth. That's all eyes, including her, and that all eyes part. And them which pierced him, yeah, over 2,000 years ago, which were who? The Romans, Edomites. So point of saying that, and that's in Revelation, the 1st chapter, the 7th verse. What? When the Lord come back, the Edomites gonna be here, man. Because that's who those Romans were that pierced him. Period. But anyway, this is Job 15 and 31 back in the NLT. Let them no longer fool themselves and trust in empty riches, for emptiness will be their only reward. Like trees, they will be cut down in the prime of life. Their branches will never be green. Their branches will never again be green, right? She was cut down in the prime of life, meaning what? This is the top time to be an Edomite. This is the furthest they ever been. So if you leave out now, it's over with. Because by the time you come back, you won't be returning to what you left, to so-called white supremacy. It will be a whole new world. The age will be over with by the time she come back, which is every 3 or 4 generations. 3 or 4 generations from now, we ruling. All right? They don't got 60, 80 years left. They don't even got 10. I don't believe that. But we'll see. All right. It says they will be like, so that's basically the point. Okay. It says, yeah, Khan. That takes me here. It says, in Job 18, it says, I'm gonna start at let me see if I want to what I want to read this in. Yeah, Khan. I'm gonna read this in the NLT. It says their roots will dry up and their branches will wither. All memory of their existence will fade from the earth. No one will remember their names. So when she come back, this goes for them. This goes for the wicked. She's not gonna be known as Queen Elizabeth. She's not gonna be known as a so-called white person that comes from ruling white people. It won't be such a thing, right? It says they will be thrust from light to darkness, into darkness, driven from the world. What world? The world that will be then when she comes back, which is the world of Jacob, the world of Yahquab, Yasha Allah, so-called black ran world, man, including so-called Latinos and Native American Indians, obviously, right? They will be thrust from light into darkness, driven from the world. They won't be approved in any matter, right? It says they will have neither children nor grandchildren nor any survivor in the place where they lived. So when she come back, it won't be any more estates and castles they got. All of them will have lost to us completely. They will have lost to the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the will of God, who people call God and Jesus Christ. They will have lost to the missiles, lost to, it being they will have lost completely, man. In the bunkers, they would have been pulled out of them. That was a part of the Lord's will. Go in them just to get pulled out of them by the elect that come down off the ship, starting with Yahweh shot. That's it, man. And Maya Ka'ala in them. It says, people in the West are appalled at their fate. People in the East are horrified. Their fate is out of there, man. You read in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, it says Edom is a fixture in great future judgments. She's the only neighboring nation of the Israel that receives no mercy from God. And everybody on the earth know that, man. They gonna see that, man. Everybody in the West hearing this through us, and everybody over East is gonna be horrified. The way what we gonna do to them? It says they will say this was the home of a wicked person. This place, the place of one who rejected God. Right? People gonna see how bad they go out. Babylon going down with fire, which is ran by Europe, right? England or whatever. England, where the elites rule. When she come back, it won't be a trace of anything they did, man. It's amazing. Let's go here. Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers will be joined with them, shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Right. So this is the house of the elect coming back together through that one stick, through Yahweh Shah, northern kingdom, southern kingdom, northern kingdom, right? It says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And that's for the other people, the non-Israelites. We're going to take them and bring them to our place, right? And when all this is happening, she's going to be still in the spirit world. It says, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids. That's what she's coming back to. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Who's our oppressors? Who's the nation that Israel oppresses? Edom and all the other nations who today call us so-called white people, Jewish people, Chinese people, Arab people, African people, whatever. This ain't happened yet. So what's going to happen to her? She going to come back to this, and we going to prove it, man. All right? So let's jump down to the point. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear. She helped issue the New World Order and put forth different laws that oppressed our people. And people don't even know that, right? It says, and from thy fear. Right, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve through these laws. She's gonna help a lot of Israelites get chipped over East through the legislation she passed with, which were basically, other executive orders to help the New World Order, right, of Esau come to fruition, which is pretty much nobody being able to buy or sell save he that have the mark or the number of the beast, and etc. But anyway. It says, but the Lord, after all that happened, and throughout all that happened, and before all that happened, he already preordained, he predestinated, he wasn't gonna forget his people, and this was gonna be the end all be all, that expected end. So these niggas can perish all they want, and they coming back. We gonna be waiting for them, man. It says that It says, then it says that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how had the oppressor ceased and the golden city ceased? So not only America, we're gonna see the fall of our enemies, see the fall of America, you know, and finally get these people back that oppressed us. We're gonna get all these people, man, all the Edomites, including her. It says, the Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepters of the rulers. He who smote the people in a wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindered. It says, this the point, the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. I'm gonna read this in the NLT. It says, I'm gonna start at 6. You struck the people with endless blows of rage and held the nations in your angry grip with unrelenting tyranny. But finally the earth is quiet, is at rest and quiet, and it says now it can sing again, even the trees of the forest. See that? The cypress trees and the cedars of Lebanon sing out loud, sing out this joyous song. Since you have been cut down, no one will come now to cut us down. That's dealing with the people of the earth, the different family trees of the earth, including the trees, right? It says, in the place of the dead there is exciting. In the place of the dead, there is excitement over your arrival. They couldn't wait to see. This nigga was so much of death. Death was waiting on these people to get there, including her, Queen Elizabeth. See that? It says the spirit of world leaders and mighty kings long dead stand up to see you. See that? Because they all find out when they go back there. So everyone that check in, they all just get the, you know, the welcome. You know, damn, you here now, right? It says, with one voice they all cry out, now you are weak as we are, right? You know, but really, because that kind of went off. I want to read this in the KJV in a sense, right? This verse 9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It is stirred up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It has raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. That's dealing with Yahweh Shah, right? It says, all they that speak and say unto thee, art thou become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Which is through Yahweh Shah coming back. They gonna be weak, right? Because it's manifold. The earth, the dead gonna be stirred up when Yahweh Shah come back. And it's gonna pretty much bring the transition to when they up to them being down, right? And all the nations that were down gonna, you know, on the spiritual level, gonna meet these people when they arrive. Every last one of them, you know? Anyway, so I got one more. It says Habakkuk 2. And Salakia. This Isaiah, I can't forget this. This is the point. It says, this is in verse 20. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned, right? So she supposedly died in peace, but she gonna come back to hell, right? Prepare slaughter for his children. This is how we know. For the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land nor fill the face of the world with cities. All right. For I will raise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord. So there it is. So let's go here. This is Habakkuk 2 and 5 in the NLT. Wealth is treacherous, and the arrogant are never at rest. They open their mouths as wide as the grave, and like death they are never satisfied. In their greed they have gathered up many nations and swallowed many people. It was 100,000 people who gathered to see Queen Elizabeth when she was so called in her prime. It says, but soon their captives will taunt them, because the truth gonna come out. And then throughout the process over the years, pretty much people showed you was ruling in wickedness. Time showed, through your action showed over time that you were ruling in wickedness. And everybody gonna realize that you are the wicked. It said that day shall not come except there be a falling away first, which is us going down. And what day is that? The day of the Lord, when Yahweh shall come back. When we have the kingdom, you know, the authority, the throne of David, you know, manifested for us, man. You know, the kingdom restored back to us. The power of the earth restored back to us. That day not gonna come until we fell off. That already happened, so that prophecy fulfilled, and that man of sin be revealed. Right? So people got to find out who these so-called white people are, who Queen Elizabeth was. And then it's going to happen, because everything got to be justified for the Heavenly Father. It's perfect. It says, so in the, verse 6 in the NLT, but soon their captors will taunt them, because that's really what they did. They heaped all people onto them, right, and made it look like they was parading them and applauding them, and they was there. But people didn't know people unconsciously didn't know that they were slaves. Even when they freed us, our people think they free now, not knowing that we just became, we just basically took on a different part of the slavery. They put slavery, they kept us in slavery in a different form. They evolved our slavery. You was already broken, so they could take the chain off, right? You got debt slaves. You got the damn birth certificate, the death certificate. You need a death certificate under this man rule, right? So they slaves. When you can't go outside the confines of this man, like he's God, when that's God's position, that's like you a slave. Like you in prison to these bounds. The whole time he in bounds. But that's what people gonna realize. So it says, but soon their captors will taunt them, they will mock them, saying, what sorrow awaits you thieves? Now you will get what you deserve. You've become rich by extortion. But how much longer can this go on? Suddenly your debtors will take action. They will turn on you and take all you have, while you stand trembling and helpless. That's what's playing out right now. The nation's about to shoot on America, which is the heartbeat of the earth, which is ran by the likes of the elite bankers, right? Europe, England, right? The likes of now so-called King Charles III, Prince Charles III, a damn cracker, a damn devil. He's not an Israelite. He's not a Jew. And that's a byword anyway. He's not an Israelite, man. He's not Yahshua Allah. He's not a child of the Most High, right? But anyway, it says, because you have plundered, and that's why people going to shoot on these people, and they're going to rejoice when these people go down, because they're going to, through the release of their grip off the earth, people going to see that they was ruling in wickedness, and they're going to see that they was the problem, and they ain't going to have no problem with us beating you Edomites off the face of the earth. No matter if you died and came back to when we ruled, when we were be ruling in power, it don't matter. We throwing everybody off cliffs, King David style, man. It don't matter age group, none of that, man. According to the scriptures, double unto y'all double. Y'all fed our children of alligators and all type of stuff, man. Y'all about to be out of there. What you did to the natives, the so-called native women, right? These people gonna pay. And who helped set all this up? The likes of Europe, including Queen Elizabeth, right? She reigned a long time, but is she gonna escape? No, man. No, she's not gonna escape. All right. But anyway, it says, because you have plundered many nations, now all the survivors will plunder you. You committed murder throughout the countryside and filled the towns with violence. What sorrows await you? You who build big houses with money gained dishonestly. You believe your wealth will buy security, putting your family's nest beyond the reach of danger. But by murders you committed, you have shamed your name and forfeited your lives. It says, the very stones in the wall cry out against you, and the beams and the ceilings echo the complaint. What sorrow awaits you who build cities with money gained through murder and corruption? Has not the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai of heaven's army promised that the wealth of nations will turn to ashes? See that? They work so hard, but all in vain. Why? Because everything the world's made for our sakes. You people about to be on the tributary, including her. That time coming. Y'all not Israelites, so what's going on right now? The rule of the wicked, the rule of the heathen is about to end. And they got to be paid back. So what happens to Queen Elizabeth? She going to come back and we going to get her, right? But it says, for as the waters fill the sea, the earth will be filled with an awareness of the glory of the Lord. What sorrow awaits you who make your neighbors drunk? You force your cup on them so you can gloat over their shameful nakedness, and that's exactly what they did. But soon it will be to your disgrace. But soon it will be turned to be but soon it will be your turn to be disgraced. Come, drink and be exposed. Drink from the cup of Yahweh's judgment, and all your glory will be turned to shame. That's what's about to happen. So she's in glory right now, and they the wicked. You can look at that woman and see the wicked countenance on her. She's a damn devil. All right? She's a dang demon. All right? This is Psalms 149, and I'm going to jump to the point. 1. Praise ye Yahweh. Sing unto Yahweh a new song, and his praise in the congregation of saints. Let Israel be rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. See that? These people are not our kings. Right? They're not kings at all. Let them praise his name in the dance. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and harp. Right? For Yahweh taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. Right? Because the time is coming where their world is about to end. That she really helped about to get to this point. She played her role in being a demon, man. A devil. She responsible. Watch. And you think she just escaped? No. So we're going to, in that time that I'm talking about, is going to be a time of Jacob's trouble, which is about to manifest through revving up more and more. And what's going to happen? We're going to be saved from it. Why? Because we need salvation from it. And what are we being saved for? What are we being preserved for? To rule for when they go down. And what do you think gonna happen to everybody left? They going under rule. What do you think gonna happen to everybody they bring forth? They going into slavery. You think she not gonna come back? Well, I'll tell you in Ecclesiastes 1 and 4. I'll just get it. One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh. Slock, it ain't what I want. Ecclesiastes 4 and 16. There is no end of all the people. See, no, there is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit, right? So people can't escape. They come back. They have to come back. And they all gonna, what? Complain of an ungodly father. Let me grab that. Ecclesiastes 41, or Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach 41 and 1. O death, how bitter is the remembrance of thee to a man that liveth at rest in his possessions, unto the man that hath nothing to vex him, and that had prosperity in all things. Yeah, unto him that is yet able to receive meat. O death, how, it's actually, Slakia, exact, Slakia. O death, acceptable is thy sentence unto the needy, and unto him whose strength faileth, that is now in the last age, and is vexed with all things, and to him that despaireth and has lost patience. See that? We ready to go now. But it says, fear not the sentence of death. Remember them that have been before thee and that come after. For this is the sentence of the Lord over all flesh. So we struggling because people have, because really the reason we know we don't have is because we know who do have. Right? And that's these damn devils. But they really don't have. It's vanity. It's not real. It's for a short time. The triumphing of the wicked is short. Right? But they still, but the comfort is they gonna die and knowing the expected end, how it all ends. All right, so they hate to die right now, but we, we okay with it, right? But let's get to the point. It says, and why art thou against the pleasure of the Most High? There is no inquisition in the grave, whether thou have lived 10 or 100 or 1,000 years. It says the children of sinners are abominable children. Why is it saying this? And they are conversant, and they that are conversant in the dwelling of the ungodly. It says the inheritance of children shall perish. The inheritance of sinners' children shall perish. Right? And their posterity shall have a perpetual reproach through what? The time playing out, man. It's just a matter of time. The prophecy's playing out. Everything, it says his children gonna seek to please the poor. They're gonna give everything over. Everything they heaped up, they just gathered it for us, man. And we gonna have plenty more work for them to do in the kingdom. Right? But it says, so I'll have you know she's gonna be one of those children. Their inward thoughts that the house shall continue forever in their dwelling places to all generations. Nah. Because when all this end, and this don't be through them ending it through their own new world order, their own wickedness, that's everything they had right there. And we in power, and they not gonna have nothing. They're gonna be driven out of the world, man. As it said, it says the children will complain of an ungodly father. The Edomites that come back, but they complaining about themselves. See that? It says, because they shall be reproached for his sake. Woe be unto, and who's the number one father they reproach? They're gonna be reproached for Esau, Ishashwa, man. That they, for what he did and who he is to the Most High, and that they're the son and daughter of him, right? They're gonna be reproached. They're gonna be put in slavery for that because they Edomites. The elder gonna serve the younger. They're gonna have to serve us forever. We're gonna be Lord over all due to Esau, due to their father, their forefather, and ultimately due to themselves. It says, woe be unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the Most High God. For if you increase, it shall be to your destruction. And if ye be born, ye shall be born to a curse. And if ye die, a curse shall be your portion. See that? All that are of the earth shall turn to earth again. So the ungodly shall go from a curse to destruction. So Psalms 149 and 1, that's what she's about to go to. She's going to go from being cursed, you know, that leprosy, that mark of Cain, to being destroyed when she come back. She was living with the mark when she was alive, but it was esteemed because it was daytime. It was made to seem like it was okay, but it wasn't. But it says, this is Psalms 149 and 1. I'm going to start at 1. Slakia. I'm going to start at 1. Praise ye Yahweh, sing unto Yahweh a new song, and his praise in the congregation of saints. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Let them praise his name in the dance. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and harp. For Yahweh taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. The judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Right, and we waiting on that. I'm going to read this in the NLT and I'm going to close out. Verse 8, it says, to bind their kings with shackles and their leaders with iron chains, to execute the judgment written against them. It's already written. This is the glorious privilege of his faithful ones. Praise the Lord, right? This is he that leads in captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth the sword must be killed the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. We waiting on this. It's going to happen, man. It don't matter that niggas is dying, man. They're not going to escape. One more after this. Maccabees, 2 Maccabees 6 and 26. For though the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead. So I'll go here. 2 Maccabees 7 and 31. And thou that hast been the author of all mischief against the Hebrews shall not escape the hands of God. For we suffer because of our sins. And though the living Lord be angry with us a little while for our chastening and correction, yet shall he be at one again with his servants. For thou, Slaki, but thou, O godless man, and of all other most wicked, be not lifted up without a cause, nor puffed up with uncertain hopes, lifting up thy hand against the servants of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. For thou hast not yet escaped the judgment of Almighty God, who seeth all things. So she dead, but hey, you know, it's all set up to be proven to you people in the end. Okay? 2 Ezra 4 and 35, for after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again. Right? We in our power. And then shall the names of the righteous be manifest. Then they gonna know we were the powerful ones. We are the rulers, the true rulers, the sons and daughters of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai God. People ignorantly call God Jesus Christ. And the works of the ungodly shall be declared. And y'all gonna know that this was right. She was the devil. She was a heathen. She was a cracker. Y'all gonna know it's Queen Elizabeth. We gonna tell y'all as soon as she come back. It's closing out Job 15 and 22. He believeth not that he shall return out of darkness, and he is waited for of the sword. He believeth not that he shall return out of darkness. She coming back, and he is waited for of the sword. Shalom.